Does everybody have that one girl in their life that they chase for like years and years and years? Or maybe we've had a few of those. So this is like my bad habit, is that I will get interested in a girl and it just goes on and I can't make a move because I'm that guy. And it just goes on. And I tried to break that habit and I failed many times. And a few years ago, I was at a wedding and a buddy of mine was getting married, and his wife's best friend was there, and she sat next to me, and during the dinner, I'm making a comment about Mike Birbiglia, and she jumps in and says, I know about that guy, I love that guy. And we started having a conversation about Mike Birbiglia, and I'm like, this is it, like, we're connecting over Birbigs, this is the girl in my life. I didn't get to talk to her or get her number after the wedding was over, but she contacted me, I think on Facebook, and said that she was looking for me at the end of the night. And I was like, holy shit, the Birbigs girl, she's after me. And so we started to talk, but I regretted it for months. Like, this beautiful girl that sat next to me, and we're laughing and we're vibing, and that was it. She wanted to see me at the after party, and I couldn't meet up with her because I'm an idiot. And she goes back home to Memphis, Tennessee, born and raised in Lancaster, PA, but has a job in Memphis, so she's really far away. But I think about her for months and months, and I invite her. The next time she's in Philadelphia, I say, let's hang out, and we go out. We saw a band play down at World Cafe Live. We're dancing. At the end of the night, I gave her a hug and said, I'll see you in 5 months. And then I did, and we continued to see each other once every 4 or 5 months for about 4 or 5 years. And I said, I'm going to visit you in not Memphis, but let's say Nashville sometime, because I'm not going to go to Memphis, but I did meet her in Nashville. And this was a couple years ago, and we go and we had a whole weekend together, because it's a woman that I connected with and thought about when I was awake, and I thought about her when I was sleeping, and I would laugh with her, and I was so interested in her, and I thought, this is the woman, except she lives 1,000 miles away. And so I made that trip one time, and we hung out in Nashville, and we saw a country band, and we ate barbecue food and all that stuff. And at the end of the trip, I'm walking with her past a golf course on the way to the airport, and we sit down on a bench, and we talk about our future, and she says she doesn't want to leave Memphis, and I say I don't want to leave Philly, and we just stared across the links, and then I brought her to the airport, and with tears in my eyes, I gave her another hug, and I said, I'll see you later. And then I got on the plane and sobbed like a bitch, and I went home. Flash forward New Year's Eve 2018, and she wants to come visit me in Philly again, and now it's been about 4.5 years since we've been talking to each other, and she's been through a couple relationships, and so have I, and she wants to hang out, and I say yes, and I make all the time in the world for her, and I plan out an entire day and an entire night, and it goes perfect, and we walk from West Philly to Old City to South Philly, and we walk through the Miracle on 13th Street, and there's Christmas ornaments ablaze overhead, and we can see the light and feel the warmth coming down on us. And I remember standing next to a candy cane and thinking, this is it. This is it. This is it. It's me and her, and we're here, and it's not Christmas anymore. It's basically New Year's, but the Christmas lights are still up, and there's some magic there. And we go to a New Year's party, and we walk in, and there's some friends, and the timing was perfect. It was 11:30, and we walk in, and they hand us champagne, and we're standing there, and then the countdown came on, and I don't know if you remember, but this year, if you were watching Ryan Seacrest or whatever, they actually skipped the countdown. It was like, hey, Mariah Carey, and it's New Year's. Like, they skipped the countdown, which was really weird, but we stood there with our streamers and those little blow things and our champagne, and we said, Happy New Year, and I turned to her and I kissed her for the first time after thinking about it for 4 years. And then we walked out onto the street, and we're walking home, And we're literally walking through the dust of fireworks because the firecrackers and the fireworks are going overhead and little kids are still lighting them off. And we're going through and we're walking through a cloud of smoke even though it's midnight or 12:30. And so this fog and the sparks and the light and everything, it's hitting us, and we're walking through it and we're holding hands. And I bring her to a friend's house, and she's about to go back to Memphis the following morning. And we stand out in the street, and it's raining too. I don't know if anybody remembers that. There's a little bit of drizzle and a little bit of the shrapnel's coming down. And we stood there, and we made out, for a few minutes. And I'm standing there, and this is this girl that I've thought about for so long. And I have her in my arms, and I'm kissing her, and it's everything that I've felt and thought and dreamed of. And we can still hear fireworks in the distance, and I say goodnight, and she goes home. And I go home to my bed, and I don't brush my teeth. And I go straight to bed. And I talk to her the next morning and say, hey, have a good flight. And then she texts me when she gets home, and she says, I've never been kissed like that in my entire life. And then she says, I've been through a bunch of breakups, and I don't know what to do, and we live really far away. And so I don't know if it's an ex or a girl or what, I don't know. I'm still in limbo. But I made that leap, and I went to some place that I'd never been before, and I can't get her out of my head, and I probably never will. Thank you.